In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact tool that we use to replace Apollo in our agency. It does what Apollo, Clay, and Lookalike do, and it only costs $49. This exact tool is what we use to get over 25,000 contacts for our clients every single month. Now let's get into the video. All right, so before we get into the nitty and gritty of the video, let's just get into an overview of AI Ark and what are their real selling points. So first of all, AI Ark has a very attractive pricing model compared to Apollo, compared to Clay after they updated their pricing, and compared to pretty much any single major database these days. So their cheapest plan starts at $49, which gets you 5,000 credits, which pretty much can get you 5,000 contacts. That is less than half of what Apollo actually charges. So pretty straight up value proposition right there. Now, this might be even more valuable because a couple things that you should know about AI Ark is that one, all of their contacts are bounce ban verified, which is a very reputable provider in the cold email space. They even verify catch-alls. So again, very huge value proposition there. All the contacts that you're getting are like email ready according to them. That's a major selling point. And then also they pride themselves in updating their database and updating the emails of their database on a monthly basis. According to what the founder says, basically that's another selling point. As you can see, they have a lot of reputable other agencies that have vouched for them. And again, another huge selling point on AI Ark side is the amount of contacts that they have. This might be the most important selling point because obviously as cold emailers and as people doing cold outbound, you will always want to get as many leads as possible. So AI Ark definitely enables that. So compared to Apollo, which has somewhere around 200 million leads, AI Ark is providing you somewhere around almost double of that. So Apollo, if I'm not mistaken, has somewhere around 240 million. You can get up to 411 million leads in AI Ark. That's a huge value proposition because you literally create the same list of leads and end up with somewhere around 30 to 40% more leads for the same campaigns, which obviously will save you a lot more time and will expand your total addressable market.
Hey, by the way, if you want to use AI Ark, you can sign up using the link in our description. It will give you a discount. Thank you.
Now, a quick overview on all of the searches that AI Ark has. So they have an AI company search, which is very much like a company lookalike search. Think about it like Ocean.io, Lookalike type of search, where you would put companies that meet your exact ICP, and then they will use AI to basically match companies that meet the same profile. Then you have your usual advanced company search. Any major database these days has that. Your advanced people search, same thing. Any database has that. They have a enriched data source where you can literally just upload a CSV and they will get you whatever you need. They have an AI contact profile analytics, which is quite interesting. I'm going to go over it later. They have their developer API, which is exactly what we use at our agency. We actually don't use the UI of AI Ark at all. We literally build all of our lists through Claude Code and have Claude literally, you select all the filters based on the ICP that we're going for. And it's quite useful, quite amazing. And then data visualization, which pretty much is just gimmicks of seeing how the distribution on your list is.
Now let's just go through the company lookalike search in AI Ark, which is basically very similar to anything that Ocean.io or Lookalike would do. Let's just say that we are a B2B SaaS and we offer a software product that's developed specifically for marketing agencies that do Google Ads. So let's just say those are your best customers. You want to build a list of lookalike companies that basically focus on that or meet that profile. What we would do to basically just build a list of lookalike companies in AI Ark is that we would choose this and list, because this is an example, obviously I don't have companies. So what I would do is that I would just go to Google and say something like marketing agency Google Ads, something like this. And then I would just go to a couple marketing agencies that actually do Google Ads. So let's just open them up and see if they actually do Google Ads. So I've already searched a couple of these ones, but let's just say salt8.com, put it here. Yes, lookalike. Yeah, Google keyword advertising services. So yeah, they meet the ICP. Signity, here it is. And then Thrive Digital, full funnel growth marketing. What else? Where does it say? Do you guys do Google Ads? Yes, performance marketing. Yeah, so they're pretty much a Google Ads marketing. So let's just do Thrive Digital advertising services. Now we have 3 companies that basically meet the criteria that we're going for. So we just click the search button and let AI Ark do its magic. It takes couple seconds to build a lookalike list. But basically what it's going to come up with is a list of companies that basically meet the same profile as the companies that we just fed to it. Okay, and here it is. As you can see, we can even add more to make the list even more accurate. So it has like 29,977 companies that are lookalikes, but don't really believe that, because any lookalike search tool these days will usually give you like the first couple pages, which are extremely accurate. Like those are companies that are like 100% your ICP, like they're exactly what you're looking for. But if you look at the back end of the list, it's usually pretty garbage. So what you want to do is just take the big chunk in the front that's basically going to meet your ICP, and then discard everything else. Real quick, if you're a B2B business owner and you already have an offer that converts, but you don't want to set all this up by yourself and you want us to do it for you, go ahead and book a call with us with the link in the description, and we'll set all of this for you and book your qualified sales calls in automatic every single month. Now, let's just say that you wanted to filter this even further. Let's just say you only wanted marketing agencies in the US. It would just select United States, and it will like narrow it down even further. So you can see 18,000. Let's just say you only want company size. Let's just say 11 to 20. So quite limited, only 1,500. So you could narrow it down even further with keywords. You can narrow it down further with industry. Those are all like very standard filters. In terms of what's really interesting around AI Ark is technologies, which obviously is kind of standard these days. Like Apollo already has the technologies feature, but something interesting, employees by department. So let's just say for some reason your software works best for companies that have a sales team and they must have more than 4 people for it to like work, or for them to like extract any sort of value from it. So here, basically, you literally have a list of companies that have 11 to 20 employees. They are in the United States and they have a sales team with at least 4 people. Like this is extremely niche down. Like this is very, very deep qualification that you will have to, like in the past, you would have had to run through multiple steps of enrichments in Clay to just narrow a list down to this detail. But let's just go even further. Another very interesting filter that AI Ark has is the headcount growth. Let's just say that for some reason, we also need a company that is growing. So let's just say that their sales team also has grown by 10% in the last 6 months, right? So even further, only 30 companies. So as you can see, you can literally get very detailed. Now, one thing that you will notice is that in terms of the rating and the lookalike rating, as I mentioned in the beginning, the thing with lookalike searches is that AI tools usually give you a huge chunk in the front end of companies that are exactly the ICP that you're going for. But if you look a little bit more towards the end of that list, it's usually a lot of garbage, because AI is very good at matching everything in the front and then everything in the back is like kind of nonsense. So that's basically what the lookalike rating simplifies here in AI Ark. Now let's just go into good and old advanced company search, for just literally any company search that you would do in any sort of database. Let's just say you are a company in the financial services niche, in the financial services space. Let's just say you're trying to do outreach to construction companies doing over $10 million in revenue, because let's just say you offer $1 to $20 million in an immediate credit line or something like that, right? How would you go about building a list like that? It will basically be just a basic company search, just like any other database. So the way I think about this is just you want to get keywords that are related to the company you are actually trying to get. You want to get keywords that are not related so that you can exclude anything else that's not related. You want to have a clear cut for the size to be able to measure for revenue, and who are the decision makers that you want to do outreach to. So for that, I would use any LLM of your preference. We love Claude. So I would say something like, hey, I'm doing outreach to construction companies and they have to be doing over $10 million in revenue. I am offering a lending product, so a financial product. So with that being said, I would like to know what include keywords, what exclude keywords I should use to find the companies that meet my ICP, and then what job titles are responsible for taking decisions regarding financial products in those companies. Please give me all of the keywords and the job titles in a comma separated way. So I would say something like that. You could literally just word it the way you want. But basically, DLM is going to give you back the keywords that would would be a match for what you're looking for and the keywords that would not be, and then any job titles that are relevant for the service or product that you're trying to sell. And then obviously I mentioned $10 million in revenue, and obviously I know this because that is the proxy that we use for size. In terms of keywords, so construction, whatever, yeah, so pretty much accurate. This will pretty much give you a at least 80% accurate list in terms of construction companies, and the exclude keywords is basically just trying to remove the noise. So software, SaaS, recruiting, staffing, obviously all those are usually just noise in every single list that you create, so you always want to take them out. And then the job titles that would be relevant, obviously owner, founder, president, CEO. So obviously what you're looking for is that you don't want to like be reaching out to like people in marketing or in HR and IT, because you're offering financial products, and like people who have a say on that are usually the owner or any financial department, anything like that. And then in terms of the revenue, here's what it's saying. A couple of ones were flagging $10 million in revenue, filters in a keyword, but you can apply a employee count filter. So roughly 10 million typically have 20 to 50 plus employees. Just copy this into AI Ark. So just use keywords, include, and hit enter, and then exclude keywords. And basically a couple of the things about AI Ark is that it allows you to be specific about where those keywords live. So obviously I usually do all of them, but you could have them only be in the SEO description, in the company name, in the industry, or the product or services that they offer. Like, it's quite extensive. So we would narrow down by location, United States. We would narrow down in terms of 50, 100, 1,000. I think that's fine. So that gives us a list of 14,974 companies. That's probably not going to be all companies that meet our ICP, but that's a place to start. You could probably select all those companies, or just select those 25, apply selection, and then you can export them into a CSV, or you can go into find people right away. We would not find people right away because we usually qualify companies. So this list must be somewhere around 70 to 80% accurate. So what we would do is we would just take it to another tool such as Clay, and then qualify each and every one of the companies one by one to make sure that it meets our ICP. You can do this these days in something like Claude Code also very easily. But let's just say we were to export, it would be a CSV file, or we would save it as a list. So we would add or create a list and basically just save it into our database. If you wanted to find people specifically at these companies, so let's just take these 25, and let's just say we want to find the job titles that AI gave us. What we would do would be something like this: job role. So I would include job title, and I will paste everything here, and it will literally self-select all of the people that I'm looking for. So 718 results. And a couple amazing things about AI Ark is that it gives you the LinkedIn of the person, the Facebook, Instagram, X, anything that it has. By the way, you can save contacts for 0.5 credits. It only charges you 1 credit if you actually get the email. But in terms of the contacts and the emails, it's quite cheap, quite affordable. Obviously, you can also filter by company HQ and where the people are located. A couple interesting things about AI Ark is that you can filter people by the type of skills that they have in their LinkedIn profile. So for some reason, let's just say somebody has a skill called AutoCAD, because we're talking about construction companies or stuff like that. Let's just say AutoCAD. So it's literally it's gonna present me all the people that have AutoCAD as a skill. So 23 people. Let's just say we want to exclude the people who have that skill. It's also going to exclude them. Here it is. Here's what I would do. In terms of education, let's just say for some reason we only want people. Let's just say that we only wanted people who went to Stanford. There's only 3 people who for some reason went to Stanford. So I think that's quite an interesting filter. Like if for some reason we would do something like this, and it would only give us those people. Same thing if you wanted to exclude them for some reason. And also filter by language. This is quite interesting. Let's just say that you wanted to filter by people who speak German. You could filter by those and see that these people speak German. That's quite interesting too. Any certifications that they may have on their profile. So something less, let's just say Lean Six Sigma or something like that. Look, all these people are Lean Six Sigma verified. Any profile badge that you may want them to have, extremely important because it gives you verified account, paid social members, open to work, influencers, creator, and hiring. I think it also gives you premium account. I don't know why it's not showing it, but why is this important is because, well, if you're trying to sell something to somebody, you actually want them to have a job and to be committed to the company. So you probably want to exclude people who are open to work because they might be about to jump ship, or they might be out of a job, or they may have not updated their profile. In terms of include companies, I would always include companies that have a premium account because that means they're most likely very active on LinkedIn, so they're likelier to reply to our outreach. Then you can also do like the regular industry include and exclude filters, the SIC and NACS filters, and then products and services. This is quite interesting. So for some reason you want to filter by what type of service or product they offer, you can do that. Company type, so you could filter public company, privately held, partnership, technologies, headcount growth, employees by department. Already talked about that. Pretty much everything that I said in the company search. Annual revenue, this is usually quite inaccurate because obviously these are all private companies. In terms of funding, you could look by what sort of funding these companies have had, number of locations worldwide, what year was it founded. If for some reason you only want to work with companies that have over 30 years in business, you could filter by something like 1996 and things like that. Now, same thing, the advanced people search is exactly what I just showed. So it's going to bring us back to everything that we had. Nothing new here. Now to enrich data, let's just say that for some reason you got a list of companies that you scrape of some directory, or somebody got you a list of leads and you need to get their emails. You would just do try now. And new enrichment, basically just create your template and upload that CSV, and it will enrich it with all the people or company data that you're asking it for. Something very interesting about the AI contact profile analytics on AI Ark. Let's just say that we want to analyze the profile of somebody such as Justin Walsh. It's going to do a profile analysis. It's going to take 4 credits, and look at this. This is something quite interesting. So we just view profile, and it charges me 4 credits to do that. But look at this, it basically does like an AI analysis on this person. So it builds you like a questionnaire. If you were to connect with Justin, this is what you should lead with, type of thing. This is his work history. This is his organization analytics. There's a couple other things that are quite interesting about this analysis. Like if you were going to call this person, this is what you should lead with. This is what you should avoid. Insights for selling to Justin. These are like his strengths and all those things. It's quite interesting. Pretty sure any LLM can do anything like this quite easily these days. It's just an AI analysis of a LinkedIn profile. But yeah, it's quite cool that they offer it here. Then we have the developer API, which again, we love the developer API. We actually don't touch AI Ark's UI at all. We literally create all of our lists and enrichments and everything through the API just because of how good it is. Sometimes it's a little bit slow, but it's quite good. Obviously, what we do is that we just run everything through Claude Code. One of the main reasons we use Claude Code for building lists through AI Ark, it's because we are able to prompt Claude in some ways, and we have created some workflows that allow us to just create more accurate lists. So if for some reason we were like going for a specific ICP and we created a XYZ list and we only got a certain amount of leads that was not what we expected, we usually would just leave it at that because we didn't really know how to like expand the list. As opposed to using Claude Code, we basically just feed everything off to Claude and tell, hey, we need more leads. Try to use other filters or try to engineer a way in which you can basically produce a bigger list for us to extract more leads as long as they match the ICP. So there you go. That is basically an overview of how we use AI Ark. Basically a tool that does the same as Ocean.io, as Clay, and as Apollo for a very cheap price. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video.